Hello students, welcome in our today's session. This is Anita Goswami, Assistant Professor of English, Government College Rajgarh, Churu. And our today's topic is a poem by Aga Shahid Ali entitled Postcard from Kashmir. This poem is prescribed in BA Part 3rd and GSU Bikaner. So students, let's begin with the intro, a brief intro of the poet who is Aga Shahid Ali. Aga Shahid Ali was born in New Delhi in 1949 and he grew up in Kashmir, the son of a distinguished and highly educated family in Srinagar. He attended the University of Kashmir, the University of Delhi, and also he went in 1976. He went to United States, and though he is a Kashmiri Muslim, Aga Shahid Ali is best known in the US and identified himself as an American poet writing in English. And at the same time, he also taught at the University of Massachusetts, at Princeton College, and in the MFA program at Warren Wilson College in USA. And if we talk about a brief intro, a brief note about his poetic style, so we can say that his poetry, as a poet, he uniquely able to blend multiple ethnic influences and ideas in both traditional forms and regular and elegant free verse. And his poetry also reflects his Hindu, Muslim, and Western heritages. As one of the critic who has mentioned about his the subject matter of his poems, when he said that Ali's poetry swirls around and a kind of insecurity and his obsessions with memory, death, history, family, ancestors, nostalgia for a past he never knew, dreams, Hindu ceremonies, his friendship, and his self-consciousness about being a poet. So, as we will also see in his present poem, A Postcard from Kashmir, where we can find these kind of subject matter or the themes like a sense of belongingness, nostalgia, a nostalgic feeling for his homeland, quest for identity. So all these we can find out in his present poem as well. Now, if we talk about his literary creations, so there are so many poetry collections which have been written by Aga Shahid Ali. There is Call Me Ismail Tonight, Call Me Ismail Tonight, a book of ghazals, which is basically a book of ghazals. And there are another poetry collections like Rooms Are Never Finished, The Country Without a Post Office, The Beloved Witness, and Nostalgic Map of America, The Half-Inch Himalayas, etc. So, our present poem, Postcard from Kashmir, is basically an introductory poem from his which has been taken from his anthology Half-Inch Himalayas. So our present poem has been taken from this volume of poetry, Half-Inch Himalayas. So before moving ahead to the text of this poem, I would like to give a brief intro about the setting of this poem, where we can find this poem, Postcard from Kashmir, presents the poet's nostalgic feelings about his homeland. His homeland haunts his imagination. He longs to feel and talk about it in this very poem. And the poem is introductory poem of his anthology titled, as I have earlier said, Half-Inch Himalayas. And though this poem has 14 lines, but we can assume that we can say that it has the similar stanza structure like a sonnet, the traditional form of sonnet, which has also consists 14 lines with a particular stanza structure, meter and rhyme. And now let's have discuss about the text of this poem. This very short poem actually divided in for 3 stanzas. We can say that first stanza consists of 4 lines, and the second stanza is consisted with 5 lines, and the next stanza is also consist of 4 lines. So here let's start the poem, where the poet is the Aga Saeed Ali, who actually talks about his glorious childhood, his glorious memories related to his homeland, that is Kashmir, and which is also popularly known as Paradise on Earth. So here there is a speaker who received a postcard from his native land, and after getting this postcard, what kind of feelings arise in his heart, that has been very beautifully described or by the poet. What he says, let's start. Kashmir shrinks into my mailbox, my home a neat 4 by 6 inches. I always loved neatness, now I hold the half-inch Himalayas in my hand. So as you see, students, that while we will move ahead, we will also notice that this whole poem is full of ironies. And in the very first line, when he says that Kashmir shrinks into my mailbox, so we find that the metaphor mailbox actually in the opening lines, it indicates that the postcard which the speaker has received from his native land, it contains a photograph of his native land, that is Kashmir. So it contains a photograph of a particular part of Kashmir, a place that the speaker still considers his home, my home. When the speaker says my home, so it actually indicates to his native homeland Kashmir. And he says that when the speaker received a postcard from his native land Kashmir, that is some sort of a place from this some sort of a part of this particular state Kashmir, and when he indicates that this postcard contains actually a photograph of a part of a Kashmir, a place the speaker still considers his home, he apparently actually is very geographically distant from Kashmir, as we know that the poet has migrated to somewhere in western country, and now at present he is not residing in Kashmir. So these lines are very ironical, where he there is a fact that makes his use of the word home ironic. Why? Because right now at present he is not residing in Kashmir, he is residing somewhere else. So he may have been born in Kashmir and may have lived there for much of his life, but now he is apparently living somewhere else, perhaps even in some western countries such as United States or UK. So when the poet, in the next line, when he says I always loved, so he here the speaker says that that particular place of Kashmir has been shrunken into his mailbox. Means when he received that the photograph through a postcard, in a postcard that contains a photograph of his native land, that actually it has been shrunken down by 4 by 6 inches. And perhaps the poet here refers about the photograph of his native land, not the actual place. And in the next moment he also says that I always loved neatness. So this line actually emphasizes the irony that he can now hold the half-inch Himalayas in my hand. So how that massive range of Himalayas can be shrunken in his very hand. So this is very ironic when he says that it actually emphasizes the irony that the half-inch Himalayas in my hand, actually the massive mountain range has been reduced to a small tidy picture, which is surely not the kind of neatness the speaker truly desires. So one of the most impressive aspects of his homeland has thus been shrunken and made to seem far less impressive and significant. Although here the speaker holds the postcard in his hand, he has in more literal ways he lost touch with the land he loves. So literally he is very distant from his native place, and he has lost all his touch with his motherland, which he loves most. And so this line, and in the next stanza what he says, this is home, and this the closest I'll ever be to home. When I return, the colors won't be so brilliant, the Jhelum's water so clean, so ultramarine, my love so overexposed. So this line, you can see that it seems that this is home and this is the closest. So this particular line actually seems to be the most intriguing and puzzling line of this poem, where he says this is home and this is the closest I'll be ever to home. So here which home the poet is talking about? So why does he say that this is the closest he will ever be to home? So the reader might assume that he means that he is unable to return to Kashmir, and so the postcard must suffice as a poor substitute for an actual visit. And in the very next phrase, where the speaker seems to contemplate in an inevitable return, that he wants to return, when he says when I return, that if in future when he would return in his native place, so the changed situations of his place will be so different when he in the line when he says that he means that this unnamed place, we don't know what particular place he belongs in Kashmir, but where he used to be there to live. And it seems a poor substitute for his actual home of Kashmir. So these lines actually contributes a kind of ambiguity in the poem, that I'll ever to be home. So which kind of home he is talking about, or he is referring. And in the next lines, he is actually expressing his own desire that when I return, the colors won't be so brilliant, the Jhelum's water so clean, so ultramarine. So, in these lines, we can find that the poet is aware of the fact, the real situation of Kashmir, where we can notice that the that this particular the place of Kashmir actually what kind of a real situation of today's Kashmir can be. So the poet has an idea about being that as we all know, that Kashmir being a geographically disputable area between or among the countries like India and Pakistan and China, where the things are not in good terms. So the poet, however, is well aware. So he imagines, or he expresses his views that the color of Jhelum's water won't be so brilliant or so clean as it used to be during his childhood time. So he is very much aware of this fact, and knowing this, he expresses his grief, his pain, that water wouldn't be so clean, so ultramarine. So, and in the next line, when he says, my love so overexposed, so ultramarine, deep blue color, related to a deep blue color, that the water, Jhelum's water, doesn't have that kind of color, that kind of cleanliness in it at present time. And when he says, my love so overexposed, so that he has the poet here is overwhelmed due to the deep attached sentiments regarding his motherland. So he wants to convey his deep feelings, but he gets so overwhelmed that he couldn't express much about it, and that's why he feels more nostalgic about his homeland, where we find that the today's Kashmir, which has become most inflammable part between India and Pakistan, and due to the dispute of many native people of that region migrated from there. And Kashmir at once time used to be the heaven of the earth. Still the kind of memories the poet used to have, but now he feels a kind of emptiness in him, and he wants to convey his sentiments attached to his motherland. And in the very next lines, when he says, and my memory will be a little out of focus, in it a giant negative, black and white, still undeveloped. So in this stanza, where these lines actually very suggestive, and they may imply that Kashmir is still in the process of development as a place. So he suggests about his past memories of his native land, that the memory, the past memories of this beautiful land, which he used to share, which he used to share, is that memories has become a little faded now, and that means that's why he is now out of focus. Why? Because his old memories has become have become faded, and so that's why the poet here in the last lines, he has used so many adjectives here to describe about this particular land, where he uses the words like giant, negative. So this phrase in itself suggests the contrast inherent in this place, that the contrastive image, that there is a contrast. While on one hand Kashmir contains the magnitude, the scenic beauty, the giant magnitude of its grandeur, but on the other hand it is negative also. The black and white image actually suggests that it has in the terms that where he also in the next very next phrase, where the poet says still undeveloped. So it might suggest us that it may be suggest that Kashmir once is used to be the heaven of earth, but still it is in the process of development as a place, and it is at present still too polarized to live up either to the speaker's idealized memory of it, or to the postcard's idealized presentation of its beauty. So this, it is undeveloped means it is not fully developed or advanced to a particular degree. So the poet actually expresses his grief, his nostalgic feelings, his nostalgic sentiments attached to his native land, and that at one point of time he used to remember all those lovable memories, or beautiful images which he used to cherish in his memory regarding his homeland. But now when he contemplates about the present state of this disputable area of more today's about today's Kashmir, which is on currently on war zones. And so through this poem actually here the poet tries to focus on the sentiments of the people like him who had to migrate it from Kashmir to some other places, some other areas in the world. So nostalgia for his motherland is the central theme of this poem, we can say. And there are other things that we can find, that here the poet is actually seeking the quest for his identity, that he wants to try to relate his individual identity to his native place, but but it seems that he is struggling to come in the struggling to find a proper place, a proper position, and he's struggling to establish his own identical image, identical position, but he couldn't relate himself to which kind of home he belongs right now. So the whole poem actually beautifully describes about his sense of his belongingness, his sense of nostalgia, and his quest for identity. So we can derive these kind of hidden meanings of this poem. And the poet also knows that his imagination of his beautiful, his lovable homeland is much beyond what it is in real sense or in actual sense right now. So it shows his deep love for the place he belonged to once, and after his long displacement and his when he had to move somewhere else in western country, so his long displacement actually has made his all past memories a little faded. But so it's a kind of a recollection, so pure and so ultramarine that he hopes that the recent violence will not affect Kashmir's heritage, and he hopes that maybe somewhere he can relate himself. So this is actually all about the poem. As you all have understood that we find that Aga Said Ali, who actually spent his whole his childhood in Kashmir, and after his early education he moved to Delhi and then to US for further education. So and staying in foreign country, he how immensely he misses his native land. So living in a foreign land, the poet when he once receives a postcard from Kashmir, he believes that his homeland has metaphorically shrunk to the postcard, and as his homeland is divided between three countries, where he claims that he holds the half-inch Himalayas in his hand, and at some place actually he compares the homeland he knows with that he might encounter once he returns, when he says that when I return the colors won't be so brilliant. So looking at the photographs, he claims that this is home. Actually it refers to his past homeland, and it also suggests ambiguity in the poem also. And even when he talks about the ultramarine waters of Jhelum, so this contrast between the land of his dreams and the actual land of Kashmir, which is expressed through the line that and my country won't my memory will be out of focus. So in short, we can say the ultimate of this poem is to project the poet's nostalgic feelings for his homeland, for his motherland, and the same has been done aptly by the poet here. So thank you students, I hope you have understood, and now I look forward to you same here in our next class. So thank you.